Greetings and God bless. I was just wondering, and I don't know this for, it's just something I'm speculating about, but I am wondering because I just saw how apparently there's FEMA barges and they dump the FEMA containers in the ocean. And this guy said that a fisherman took a photo, and the fisherman who was 15 miles, I guess, away from the FEMA barge, the fisherman heard people banging from the inside of the container that was in the ocean and heard screaming and stuff like that. Now, doesn't this remind us of the slaves being dumped overboard because it made the ships more money? If I guess if they were, I can't remember the situation, if they were being, um, if there was a storm, or if they themselves were being caught, the slave traders. So this is just so reminiscent of that. And somebody posted that during these catastrophes, these FEMA boats somehow know when to arrive. So it seems like these catastrophes, FEMA um, is a vulture at. It seems like maybe the catastrophes are human generated and it works with FEMA. And anyway, when all these people have paid insurance, and insurance companies do not want to pay out to 200,000 people or something like that. So I'm wondering if insurance companies has FEMA kill as many people as possible, so the insurance companies only pay out, to whatever 200 people, because the business of insurance is not to provide coverage, it's to make a profit. And to make a profit while still seeming somewhat legit, so people will still keep paying them. And then there was more stuff about, like, there's guillotines and people being executed with a guillotine on FEMA barges, and um, that FEMA, they have the discretion, I guess, to kill people, and they're doing like practice roundups and murders of people. And so they were, or homeless people or drug addicts or whatever, vagrants, to execute. And apparently there were being like fifty of these volunteers were executed by guillotine a day. So I don't know what's what. um, but what I'm wondering is, so let's say that's so if FEMA is dumping these containers, right? These shipping containers in the ocean. Did those people in the submarine see a shipping container and maybe, like, I don't know, saw bodies or something like that? Like, I, I wonder if um, so the going outside is becoming more of a hostile encounter. Like when I'm in a city, basically the majority of the majority of other people that are walking around are mentally ill, half naked, homeless people, or they look like they're addicted to something. They're looking weird and acting weird and twitchy, or screaming or hollering or banging or something like that. And so I noticed that here in Denver. I noticed it when I was in Cedar Rapids in Iowa. And from what I'm seeing online, like, people are finding this to be the case in, like, Oregon and California, fiction to make sidewalks hostile to law abiding people. Because I know, like, when I was in Rapid City, there were aggressive Native people who were drunk or high, and they would corner me at the crosswalk when the traffic was going. So I'm waiting for the light, and they would be like, give me some money. Or they would corner me, when I'm walking on the sidewalk trying to go to the laundromat, and they'd be like, you owe me reparations, you're on my land. and they really felt like this. They were like, oh, and these people did not pour the concrete, did not lay the cement so the sidewalk was like this. They did not put that mall over here, and they did not purchase that car that's driving by. Like it's this mass hallucination, that at least this is South Dakota, Native Americans that were blaming me for everything that happened to them. And, I grew up in New York City. I had nothing to do with what was going on, and neither did my parents, neither did my grandparents, or my great grandparents, or my whole lineage going back to Adam and Eve. Um, so I'm wondering if there's corruption, and if just these trusted agents of the public good, which are really just deep state agents, do they want only the criminals, only the addicts, only the prostitution, only the mentally ill? Is that the only people they want out on the sidewalk? And they want to frighten anybody who is law abiding, just to stay home and buy everything on Amazon. Um, I'm wondering, and I'm wondering if, because they don't want law-abiding people to see human trafficking going on, to see drug deals by the police or whoever. I don't know, um, but I'm wondering if that is like kind of the what's going on. Like, why are streets so hazardous? Like, why are sidewalks so hazardous? Like, I'm here in Denver, and there's people riding their bikes as fast as possible, or the scooters or their e-bikes as fast as possible on a sidewalk. It's crowded. There's not a whole lot of space to jump out of the way, but these people they expect the pedestrians to jump out of the way on the sidewalk, and these people on bikes and stuff just are going as fast, full bore, as fast, as dangerous as possible. And they're psychotic or something, because they have no conception of, this is a sidewalk, it's a narrow sidewalk, and um, the the pedestrian has, like, you, the bike rider or the scooter rider, has an obligation to be safe, operate your device safely around pedestrians. But this is not, there's no accountability. No cities do anything about this. um, and these people who are riding on the sidewalks as fast as they would if they were driving a car. Like, if that scooter could go any faster, if that bike could go any faster. I don't know if they're all on drugs, but there's no accountability, and they know that there's no accountability, and they just are really selfish, I guess, and maybe misanthropic. Maybe they hope to harm people. Maybe these are people with some sort of aggression against people who are walking on the sidewalk. I don't know. But, could it be that there's this anarchy on the sidewalk? There's like anarchy on the roads. Like, people are reckless. When I'm just trying to cross the street at the zebra crossing at my light, it is so hard to find a driver who has an iota of self control to allow me to cross at my light. Like, they're just like, get out of my way. They're like, it's like I'm being, like, a weapon is being aimed at me when I'm trying to cross the street. And, I can't really talk to my friends who are drivers, because they're in that mentality. There's some sort of hypnosis that comes um, with this speed that people get when they're on four wheels. And, praise the Lord for the combustion engine and for all the blessings that it brings, but just doesn't mean you get to drive over or threaten every pedestrian that has their right of way. Like, I'm not saying I want to do kitty corner, crossings, and wear all black at night and expect drivers to stop. Like, I'm just saying, when it's daylight and there's no traffic, and a driver has to wait 3 seconds for me to just walk across their bumper. Like, drivers do not have that. And whether this is a white person, whether this is a progressive liberal in a Prius, whether it's a Mexican who doesn't speak a word of English, like, it's, or a black person, like, it's everybody. Everybody has this demon of uh, entitlement, and it's on the road and it's also on the sidewalk because these people, I don't know if they lose their license or if they're resentfully environmentalists, but these entitled people take their bad road manners and take it to the sidewalk. So it's like it's scary to even be on the sidewalk. Like when I'm in Denver, I'm having to like look all over, because there's just all these scooters and bicyclists, and then you have to like navigate um, the obstacles on the sidewalk, like scooters that are taking up 4 or 5 feet of the sidewalk, and it's just um, it's kind of chaotic. And so I'm like, maybe cities, they still want everybody on house arrest. And they may say that they want um, there to be flourishing businesses, but when you have this reckless homelessness or when you have these reckless people on scooters driving around and making it scary, and when you have like this mental illness on the sidewalks and in the buses, like a bunch of stores have closed since I've been in Denver, and I see boarded up windows that have been boarded up for a while. Like, I think because people are like these mentally ill people are breaking windows. And in the past, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, rarely, number one, were windows broken. But number two, rarely were they left broken. And I'm just wondering if this is a sign that these businesses are not intending on fixing their windows and they don't mind that it's looking shabby here. So, and I'm wondering that was in they see something they weren't supposed to see, and is that you know, um, so yeah, I'm just wondering, and of speculation, but you know, we have so many resources. We have where I know where our country is in a really rough spot right now, and it's going to get worse. But even so, like we are so blessed, and it just does. I just don't understand why people are spending all this money on conspicuous consumption, and why they let their elected officials to you know just grift money away with no accountability. And um, like if we use resources properly, things could be so much better. So what do you guys think? Thanks for watching.